Hips, yeah. Uh-huh. Awesome. Can do. All right. Welcome to Thursday morning. We'll officially start this way. Okay. We'll just land for a moment. Just be in your body and feel your pelvis in contact with your cushion or your blanket or the floor. And just feel how you landed in this seated position today. And maybe closing the eyes to go inside and explore sensation in the legs and the feet. In the hips, the organs of the belly, the reproductive organs. Just kind of give a moment of your awareness to that space in your body, acknowledging, sensing. Your breath, feel how the breath is moving into and out of the body. The alignment of your spine, how the bones of the spine are stacking or not. And yeah, sometimes you'll need to wiggle, move a little to highlight your awareness and realign if you need to. All the way up to the neck, the head. Feel the brain, the activity of the mind this morning. And just take a moment to appreciate the body that got you here, that carried you here. All of the processes in the body that happen for you without your awareness necessarily. And reach your arms out to the sides. Kind of stretch really wide out through your fingertips. And just be here for a few moments, breathing into the space between the ribs, under the armpits. And breathe into the space between the shoulders, behind the body. And let your next inhale bring a little more buoyancy, a little more lift, a little more expansion. And keeping that expansion, bring your hands to the heart. Connecting with your heart center, connecting with your intention for today's practice. It can be something that you're cultivating in your life or in your yoga practice. It can be something that bubbles up or arises for you in this moment. Whatever your intention is, on the next inhale, breathe it into every cell of your body. Filling yourself with the energy of your intention, and exhale, bow your head to your heart. Just seal it inside, and this gesture helps guide your practice. You can raise your chin level with the floor, And float the arms down to the sides. Fingertips might graze the floor here. Inhale, open the heart up toward the sky as much as you can. So we're arching the spine, letting the tailbone point back, letting the crown of your head drop back behind you. Heart shines forward. And exhale, rounding slowly forward. Curling the tailbone under, chin towards your throat. Inhale, arch and open the front body. Exhale, curling under. Inhale, get tall through the crown and float the arms out to the sides again. Maybe rolling the fingers, the wrists, lubricating your tissues this morning. And now interlace the hands so the webs of the fingers are touching behind the base of the neck. So it's like the pinkies of the hands are right at where your hairline meets where your hairline is. And then from here, you're going to gently squeeze your cheekbones with your forearms. Yeah. So inhale, you'll point up at the sky with the tips of the elbows. Exhale, curl down. And so here we're really targeting more the upper back rather than the neck moving. So notice in your system as you move with breath, inhaling up, pause, exhale down. Notice if more of the movement wants to happen in your low back. See if you can invite that movement up high into the thoracic spine, the upper chest. And the reason the hands are interlaced in this way is to really just keep the neck from doing the movement and focusing the movement down lower than the neck. The space between the shoulder blades behind the heart. Deep breath in as you slowly point up at the sky. Pause, lift your heart a little bit higher at the top of your inhale. And then exhale, let it go as you let the elbows come down toward the earth. One more time and just spend a few extra moments or a few extra breaths in the expression of this that feels most tight, I would say. So explore the space that feels a little like it needs some more time. It needs some more breath, some more awareness. And you can wiggle side to side a little bit or rotate to see if you can unwind that tight little spot that you find. One more big breath right into the area that needs some space. Exhale, we'll come back to neutral, floating the arms down to the sides slowly. And we'll move right into some side bending. So reaching one arm up and overhead. And really feel the left sit bone pressing down into the floor as you arc over to the right. Feel the line of maybe tension or just sensation all the way from your pelvis up through your shoulder, maybe even to your fingertips. Inhale here. Inflate the side ribs. Exhale, maybe go a little deeper. Maybe rotate the head or the neck. Inhale through center, reach up to the sky. Exhale, floating the other way. And we'll just stay here for a few breaths, noticing if that right sit bone has become unweighted, press it down into the floor and feel how that can open the side body even more. If there's any way your body is asking to move here, sometimes it's opening the jaw, sticking out the tongue, or just really tune into the elongation, the sensation in the entire right body, from your hip through your ribs, your armpit, all the way to the fingers. Inhale, floating up. Both arms toward the sky. Let's interlace the fingers and press the palms forward. Elbows straight. Kind of like we did last week with the hands on the blocks. We're going to keep the elbows straight and just plug the shoulder blades back and draw the shoulder blades forward. And plug them back as you inhale, opening the heart. And exhale, let them come forward. Shoulder blades spread apart from each other. The back of the heart gets a little gentle stretch. Inhale, plugging the shoulder blades back. Exhale, forward. Good. And then float this interlaced setup over your head. Let your heart lift. Let your chest lift. And then keep that space and send your tailbone down toward the floor or toward your mat. And then let the back shoulder blades creep up toward your ears. And straighten the elbows and send the pinkies back any amount further. And can you smile? And exhale, float the arms down. And we're going to just do a little bit of organic movement, whatever the body wants to do. So my initial yoga instructor in Chicago, Michael McCauley, he would call this jazz yoga, improv yoga. And so instead of, following a particular form or shape, you're just maybe closing the eyes and going inside and just going, what wants to move? What part of the body feels like it needs to stretch or be still or explore? And it doesn't have to look any certain way. But you'll find, or you may find, that as you begin to listen inwardly in this way, the body starts talking to you a little more clearly. And so continue at your own exploration, following the breath, opening the jaw, opening the face. That's pretty funny right now. She gets it, don't worry. Gladys is a great friend. Welcome, welcome. Oh. And then maybe coming back to hands and knees. If you're enjoying your exploration, keep going. And this is a move that I learned in our women's group with Gigi. Come onto the crown of the head. And this can be like a beautiful fascial release of your cranium, the fascia of your scalp. So it's a slow motion. You just kind of find an area that feels tender usually, and that's typically what needs release. And you just pause there and let that stretch. Not even really a stretch, it's just like a fascial pull happen. And it takes maybe 3 or 5 breaths, and then maybe you'll move to the next spot that needs a little release. Breathing slowly, deeply,
making sound if that feels natural. Ah. This is sort of a perspective shift. We're upside down. We've got some inputs on the head, the scalp, sometimes the forehead. Don't forget about the side of your head. You can put as gentle or as deep pressure as you desire here. So just exploring. And I probably could spend all class just doing this. Take a few more breaths. Find that one last spot to release. Ah. And then sink into a resting pose of stillness that feels good for your body. So some people love the Bhaktasana devotional pose, sinking the hips back. For some people, that's not very restful. And so if you would prefer, maybe sitting on a block and being in stillness or coming back to seated or laying on your belly, go with whatever feels the most, just like a little moment of rejuvenation, of connection with yourself, of connection with your intention for practice. Just drop back into your intention for a moment. And imagine that your breath has this amazing capacity to clear out anything that got stirred up so far in the few movements that we've done. So breathing into that space where you might feel like a little congestion. Breathe deeply into that space, create space around it, and then exhale, allow any congestion, tension, holding, gripping, just to leave the body, melt out of the body on your exhale. And you can do this anytime throughout any yoga practice. And then just feel what's left after you've released and what is here for you, supporting you, giving you energy, giving you support to move into the remainder of our practice. We'll come slowly to hands and knees. And we'll bring the blocks to the top of the mat. And I personally love to have a cushion under the knees. And we did this a little last class. You can improvise. That's always welcome. If there's anything that you need to do differently. But let's just kind of forward and back a few moments on the blocks. And the blocks just kind of give you go-go gadget arms, right? Extended arms, which sometimes can give you more options, opportunities to explore. But if the blocks are not for you, you can always place them to the sides. So we're just forward and back, just feeling the joints, the shoulder joints in particular, the knees and hips are explorable in this way. And even something so simple as this can be profoundly nourishing by the quality of your movement and the quality of your breath. So just really tuning into how you're meeting your body with your breath, how you're meeting yourself with your movement. Whenever you return to blocks and knees, we'll just play a bit with just
moving the shoulders forward and the shoulders back. We've been exploring this articulation, this isolation of just the shoulders, keeping the elbows straight, letting the shoulder blades, as you inhale, kind of kiss the spine behind the back. And then as you exhale, letting the shoulder blades spread wide apart and kind of hug around the ribs. Inhaling, the heart comes toward the floor, the shoulder blades draw together behind the spine. Exhale, shoulders come forward. Just finding that very specific movement of the shoulder blades, coming to neutral, and then just tucking the pelvis under and lifting the pelvis up. So instead of the full cat-cow, we're just isolating that tuck and tilt to the pelvis. So neutral shoulders, neutral upper back now, neutral neck, just finding the movement in the pelvis, tucking under and lifting up. And then if you want to play a little bit more deeply, this will get into the hip joints as well. As you tuck under, let the knees sort of swivel so the toes come together as you tuck under. And then as you lift up, the feet go apart. And just feel what that's like in your body. Interesting sensation, maybe. Inhaling, the tailbone comes toward the sky, the feet splay apart from each other. Exhaling, the tailbone draws under, toes come together. And then go ahead and sort of combine both of those movements into the full cat-cow, but having your awareness on the pelvis and the shoulders as the spine sort of comes along for the ride between those two articulations. So the shoulder blades spreading apart from each other, the back of the heart arching toward the sky as the pelvis tucks under. The heart shining forward, the shoulder blades kissing behind the back, and the legs, the feet drawing apart as you inhale. And then ditch all of the cues and just move however you need to now. So maybe that was really nourishing for you. Maybe it kicked some things up. Maybe there's a way that your body just wants to move in this moment. Trust that and go there. So whatever that is for you, it might be like something that doesn't look like yoga, right? And we're just giving the body permission to start talking to us and to listen to the body. Just for a few more breaths that way. Anything done with conscious awareness, I would classify as yoga. So maybe these postures are just the training wheels for the deeper work of truly moving with the body. So whenever you feel ready to come back to blocks and knees, and we'll send the right leg back, toes tucked under, press strongly into your heel toward the floor. So toes are on the floor, pressing away. How flat can you get that foot to the floor? So this is sort of like a classic stretch. Yeah, we're feeling it. I feel a little bit of lengthening in the calf. Engage the front of the quad on that right side. Press your hands into the blocks to press the leg back. And it's almost so much that you're unweighting the left knee, right? We're pressing into the hands, pressing into the heel, and keeping the pelvis balanced. And then notice if you're like me and your head tends to drop toward the floor, see if you can keep the neck in alignment with a smile on your face. And just feel how when you engage the quad, the thigh of the right leg, the knee straightens, how that might help the heel to go a little closer toward the floor. And then look back at your toes. and spread them apart. So plant the big toe and then spread the other toes away from it. Yeah. I not to call anybody out, but I see some hallux valgus in this room, and so this is the best way to prevent and correct our hallux valgus in their big toes. This is also a nice way to build arch support. Big breath in, and then exhale, float the leg up toward the sky. And inhale here. Ask yourself, why did my hip also float up? Just the leg. Keep the hips balanced and square. As you exhale, step this right foot through. Is this okay on everybody's knees? Are we good on knees still? Okay. And then exhale back and forth. And we'll just inhale to come forward, exhale back. This is one of my favorite ways to say hello to the hips. It's one of my most beloved sort of flows when we're working into unwinding all the sitting we tend to do in life. So play with this. What is it like if you stay rounded in your spine this whole time? So you're curling, rounding, tail is under, chin toward throat. Just for a few breaths, a few rounds. Go slow. I'm going kind of faster probably than you're breathing. And then unwind and arch the spine. Lift the heart, lift the gaze, and find that movement with more of a neutral, elevated, open heart. Yeah, breathing into every cell of your body. Maybe notice, where am I not breathing into? I don't know if I'm breathing into my right buttock, right? Or maybe my toes aren't getting some prana, some breath. Expand your awareness into the entire body by sending your breath into the entire body. Now, choose your own adventure here. What expression of this posture is inviting you into stillness? Like, where is the body asking to go into some more depth and to spend some time so that the tissues can soften and open and let go? So it might be, anywhere along the journey. And you're meeting a little bit of challenge here. You're meeting a little intensity or some holding or some gripping, sometimes some emotion. Breathe into that space and release what's ready to go on your exhale. And it can be a process. We might need to be here longer. Can we lean in just a little more? And then softly, slowly return forward if you're not already there. Exhale, send the knee back. And then move or stillness, maybe Bhaktasana or Balasana, child's pose. Maybe you just sit in stillness, whatever feels nourishing to integrate this work we've done on one side. And if you find stillness, deepen into it with your breath. Recall your intention and let it go. And softly return, if you're ready, to your hands and knees. Send the left toes tucked under, back, legs straight. Look at that big toe and plant it, and then spread the other toes away from it. Good. Pressing into the blocks to press the heel back, almost unweighted in the right leg, keeping the hips balanced and aligned. Find your neck. Yeah. Shine your heart forward a little bit and press strongly into the blocks. And then smile, because we don't have to take it so seriously. Working the breath, working into engagement of the front of the left thigh, pressing your heel toward the earth. On your next exhale, lift the leg, float the left leg up toward the sky, realigning your pelvis. If that left hip came up, bring it right back down, level with the right side. Notice if your weight shifted over to the right, bring that weight just square of the right hip over the right knee. And on an exhale, send this leg through. Sweet relief. And go into and out of your Ardha Hanumanasana into a low lunge with your breath. If we want to do it the same as we did the first side, keep the spine curled, rounded, tailbone tucked, chin tucked as you move. For a few rounds. And then unfurl, opening the heart. What's it like if the heart stays lifted? Sometimes I'll come to the higher blocks for this part. Keep the chest open, meeting yourself here in your body. Maybe you want some stillness. Maybe you keep moving. The side might feel completely different than the first side, yeah. So kind of meet it like you're meeting someone for the first time, gingerly, just kind of seeing what's going on here. Gentle, sweet. Do we all feel like side two is harder than side one? No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're getting to unwind patterns of movement from our days, from our lives, from our habits, from driving, from all of it. What a gift this is to be spending time connecting with yourself in this way. And wherever the body needs to sink in. So it might be the expression that feels a little more challenging, where you feel some tension, where you want to invite some unwinding of the fascia, the tissues, patterns get a chance to be seen, acknowledged, and released to let go. And you might explore how the neck impacts the posture. The jaw. Maybe one or two more breaths into depths. And then softly, slowly, gently come back to the lunge if you're not already there. And then send your knee back and find movement or stillness here in whatever way feels the most nourishing to you. Normally, you may be seated, laying down on your belly, taking a mini shavasana, but maybe child's pose, devotional pose is right. Let's tune into your intention again. Let's say hello to anywhere in the body that needs a breath or three. And then slowly come up to hands and knees when you're ready. And this time we'll slide the blanket that was under your knees up to become a pillow. And you'll take one of the blocks with you as you lie onto your back. And just be here in your back with the sacrum resting on the floor. Just kind of tune into this triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine. And you might press the right side of your sacrum down a little further, then press the left side down a little further, just kind of feeling right to left, the borders of the base of you here. And that's where the block is going to go once we bridge up, lifting the hips, and then landing onto the block. Low, low, low. So the block is sort of in alignment with your gluteal cleft, right? So it's down low. And then you may or may not love this blanket. I'm deciding I don't want the blanket under my head. So feel free to slide your blanket away if it feels like it's craning your neck too much. And then from here, let's draw the left knee into the chest, clasp around the thigh or the shin, and then send the right leg out onto the floor. First, pressing strongly through your heel, flexing your toes back. The back of the heel is touching the floor, and you're straightening that right knee. So we're just being really active here first. Keeping the left knee in toward the chest helps to keep the low back more neutral, which we love. And then press strongly out through the extended leg, pressing it into the floor, getting longer through this right side. And then point your toes away. Try to flatten your foot onto the floor on this right foot. And then press through your heel again. So press the heel away, get even longer. Big breath in. Exhale, melt the leg, let that go, let all of it go, and just kind of be sort of flopped over this block here, just sort of resting softly. Let go of the holding, the tension, and then see what it's like to slide your right leg off the mat to the right. So it just kind of opens the pelvis in a different way. You can counterbalance that by letting the knee go, the left knee go off to the left a little bit. And if that's not for you, you just try it and come back to what feels good. Feel your breath. Breathe all the way into the belly, the pelvis. Exhale, soften, let everything go. Gently slide the right leg to midline. And then bring the left knee up to the middle and maybe just a little bit across toward the right. Not too much. Keep your keep your sacrum flat on the block. But just a little bit of exploration. What is it like bringing the knee across? Big breath in. And as you exhale, slide the right leg in, bending the knee, foot to the floor. Left foot can return to the earth. Inhale here. Some people like to do a little lift off the block and sort of reset. Make sure this is still feeling like a great position for the block. And when you're ready on an exhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Clasp the thigh or the knee. And exhale, send the left leg out onto the floor. Press through the heel. Flex the toes back toward the body. And can you sort of feel there's this almost a teeter-totter between pressing out through the heel and then drawing the right knee into the chest and then pressing out through the heel and drawing the knee in, and see if you can find equal effort between the extended leg and the bent knee. Active through the extended leg for a few more breaths. Feeling maybe the difference between this side and the last side. Maybe pointing the left toes down, trying to flatten the foot onto the earth just to get a little different sensation through the left leg. Flex the toes back again, press out through the heel. Big breath in. And exhale. Relax everything. Let the pose become very soft. Let your muscles relax. No more effort. Just draped over this block. Maybe slide the left leg off the mat to the left, right knee off to the right, to just open the body a little more. Just if it feels good. Breathe down into the belly, into the pelvis. Melt any tension away. Let the earth take it as you exhale. And perhaps coming back to center for a breath or two. Maybe keeping the sacrum flat on the block, bringing this right knee across a little amount. If you go too far, it'll just turn into a twist of the sacrum. We're just looking to get a little bit of sensation, perhaps in the outer right thigh. Sliding slowly the left knee, heel in, bending the knee, returning the right foot to the floor. Maybe lift again and readjust. This might be accessible and appealing, and it might not. The invitation is to just stretch everything out onto the floor, arms overhead, legs out. If that's not for you, you can find a different version, maybe returning one side then the other again. But if this is doable, just let this body open. The front body, the front hips, the front pelvis. Maybe it feels more supportive, safe to press out through your heels actively like we were doing, or maybe just being a limp noodle over your block is for you. So feel free to explore. What is it like to widen the legs apart? Or maybe you want more of an inversion and you just send your feet toward the sky instead. Find a place where you feel very nourished, feel very supported, and feel very connected with what is healing, rejuvenating for your body. Breathe rejuvenation into every cell of your being. Letting go of anything that's ready to go as you exhale. Ah. Ah. And only when you're ready, slide your feet back to the floor. And the arms back down so that they're along the side body, ready to find the block. And then just peel the tip of your tailbone away from the block and pause to exhale. And then peel the rest of your sacrum away, but just keep the top part of the sacrum in contact with the block. And then exhale. And then peel off of the block slowly so that you're lifting away. Slide the block to the side. And slowly, bone by bone, return to the floor from the top to the bottom. Let the tailbone come last if you can. See if you can feel each bone as it touches down. And once you've landed, stillness might feel appropriate, or maybe knees washing side to side. Some people feel really supported by knees into the chest. Maybe you try all of them. Let's see what feels aligning for your body. Rolling the knees in circles, perhaps to massage the low back. And make your way onto one side. Just rolling over to transition for a breath or two before pressing up. Take your time. And then slowly, gently make your way to standing in the most graceful, embodied way you can imagine. So whatever that looks like for you in this moment. And let's bring the blocks with us as we stand. So we'll put them at the front of the mat for now. So checking in with your sacrum, because sometimes that was really nourishing and sometimes that was like, oof, there's a little tweak happening in the sacrum. So let's just gently, organically as possible, smoothly figure eights with the hips. Just see what that's like. Exploring. And your figure eights can be little baby minis or they can be big, bold figure eights, whatever is available, accessible to you in this moment. And just pay attention to the direction of your figure eights and then change directions. Yes. Yoga for your brain. Yes. Good. And if you weren't sure, try changing again. And then change back again. And see if you can keep the figure eights going as you walk to the front of your mat and find a block. And then figure eight your way back to sort of the middle of your mat. Oh, and it's really hard to do it in one direction compared to the other for me. Wow. All right. Place the block up high between your thighs and stand with your feet hips wide apart. And the hips are defined by the frontmost bone of your hips. So for most of us, it's like bring your feet a little closer together. And stamp those big toes down and then spread the rest of the toes away from them as best you can. Yes, and yes, it's not cheating to go and put them there. If you need to, that's okay. Hands to the hips. So this is the famous Pez dispenser pose that was taught to me by Lauren at Yoga Northwest in Washington. Send your tailbone down toward the floor and feel how your Pez is popping forward. And then draw the inner thighs back to feel how your Pez is popping back. And you're just playing with those two actions to create balance between effort from the internal rotation of the thighs and the sending of the tailbone down. And then meet that with straight knees, quads engaged, and then lift all 10 toes off of the floor to see if you can keep the arches lifted as well. And I always think it's funny how my fingers try to help. And then if you can, stamp the big toes down, let the rest of the toes rest, but keep that arch support happening, that inner arch lift, outer arch lift, inner arch lift, outer arch lift. Can you lift both arches equally, just like how you're rotating the block equally front to back? And then just feel how solid you feel in this mountain pose with that foundation in your feet and in your legs and your pelvis. And then let the arms just float up and overhead. And just reach for whatever it is you need in this moment. Love, care, kindness, support, self-worth, whatever it is, bring it in on the in-breath and exhale. Close the hands and bring them to the heart. Inhale here. We're staying strong in our stance. Exhale, hands go down. Inhale, hands come up, collecting anything that you need from the cosmos right down into your heart as you exhale. Hands to the heart. One more time, inhaling here. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, reach up and overhead. Collecting anything that it is that you need, any wish fulfilled in this moment. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. And we'll release the hands, release the block to the front. Coming back to standing in that Tadasana shape, finding the same action of the internal rotation of the thighs, the tailbone down, the inner and outer arches both lifted. Big breath in here. Send all of your attention awareness to the back body. Let the weight come a little bit further toward the back of your heels. Inhale, reaching arms up and overhead. And exhale, dive forward, bending your knees, bringing the palms to the floor. Let the head go, let the neck go. And then we're going to come down through hands and knees to find your way into your Shavasana. If there's any movements that you still need, take 10 or so breaths to explore those movements as you set your space up for Shavasana. And I recommend a pillow under your head and a pillow under the knees as you lower yourself back. into your pose of integration. Walking the back of your neck long, chin level with your forehead. Does anybody want to bolster under your knees? Raise your hand. Just a few breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you'd like to be covered with a blanket, raise your hand. Happy to bring you one. Ever so sweetly begin this process of surrender, letting go of the physical body, allowing everything to gently, slowly ungrip. Letting go of your control over your thoughts, almost floating above the thoughts and watching them without any judgment or direction. You're just allowing. Letting go of your control over the breath. Just allowing the breath to breathe you. Fascinated perhaps by your inner rhythm, natural rhythm. What more can you let go of? And only when you're ready, you can stay longer if you choose. Begin to gently draw your attention to where you contact the earth. If there's anything that remains that's ready to go, to be left, to be recycled, you can surrender that here on the exhale. And you've created so much space for what's ready to come in. Softly bring your palms to your heart and invite a deeper, nourishing breath into your heart. And wiggle your toes. Bend your knees slowly, one at a time. Bring your feet to the floor. And you can give yourself a squeeze or roll the knees in circles or just roll onto one side when you're ready. It's so nourishing for us to take time in the transitions, in the spaces in between the doing, for a pause, to integrate, to connect. So really nourish yourself with your breath in this moment. Before you press your body up to seated, slowly, gently. We'll meet where we started, with hands at the heart, a tall spine. Recall your intention and choose if you will carry it with you for the rest of your day or if it's time to let it go. The highest potential within me vows to honor the highest potential within you. Namaste. This is sacred space, and it comes from, yeah, you can put some on your wrists there. Yes, I usually, when I do I put on a little bit of essential oils. Yoga. Yoga. You're doing it.